Selma Lagerlöf's classic story, The Rat Trap, it kind of starts out like a fairy tale. But right underneath all that, it hits you with this question that feels, honestly, super modern. What if the whole world is just one big trap, and everything we want, that's just the bait?
So just think about this for a second. What if everything you're chasing, all the good stuff, money, a comfy life, a good meal, a roof over your head, what if all of that isn't actually a reward? What if it's just bait? I mean, that's the huge idea at the core of this story. And it comes from a guy who, well, let's just say the world has never given him a single reason to think any differently.
So, this is the world according to our main character. He's this peddler, we don't even get his name, and he makes, you guessed it, rat traps. And for this guy, this isn't just some clever little idea. Nope. To him, it's like the law of gravity. It's just how things are. He's convinced the world exists for one reason and one reason only: to dangle something shiny in front of you and then snap, watch you get caught.
Okay, so you gotta wonder, right? How does a person get to such a bleak place? Well, to really get where he's coming from, we have to see what he sees. We have to walk a mile in his worn-out shoes. So the story lays it out pretty clearly. This peddler, he gets by through begging and a little bit of stealing, just enough to do what the book calls keep body and soul together. And just think about what that really means. It's got nothing to do with being happy or getting ahead. It's the absolute bare bones, minute-to-minute struggle just to, well, not die. And when you're living your entire life on that razor's edge, yeah, it's not a huge leap to start seeing the whole world as one big enemy, is it? And what he feels on the inside, it's written all over him on the outside. The world has been so rough on him, it's literally carved itself onto his body. So when you read about his clothes being in rags, his cheeks all sunken in, that's not just the author painting a picture. No, those are the scars. That's the proof that he's already caught. And then there's this one line that's just, wow. It says, hunger gleamed in his eyes. That's so much more than just saying he was hungry, right? It's primal. It's almost like he's not entirely human anymore in that moment. Because when you're that desperate, the whole world just boils down to two things: bait and the trap. And you're just a creature, circling, always on the lookout.
So, this whole dark world is a rat trap thing, it became his armor. It's how he coped. The book actually calls it his cherished pastime, which is pretty telling. I mean, think about it. If you can't find any real joy in the world, what do? Well, for him, he found this kind of twisted, bitter satisfaction in thinking about this big, cruel game and watching other people who seem to have it all figured out, finally get trapped just like him.
But then, one night, something happens. Something that just doesn't compute with his whole theory. A door opens, and instead of getting slammed in his face like usual, he finds kindness. And this one moment, it's going to challenge every single thing he thought he knew. So our guy, the peddler, he's totally braced for the usual. He's expecting these sour faces, right? But what he gets, it's the exact opposite. A lonely old farmer, a Crofter, actually welcomes him, and not just with a plate of food, but with real conversation. He even shares his secrets with this total stranger. This is the first real glitch in his system. It's the first piece of evidence that suggests, hey, maybe, just maybe, the world isn't only about traps. And just when you think things might be changing, the old Crofter goes and dangles the perfect bait. He's so proud, he shows the peddler the 30 kronor he's saved up. Now, for a guy who believes the entire universe is designed to tempt you and trap you, this is like waving a giant, juicy piece of cheese right under his nose. And what do you think happens? He takes it. In that single moment, it's like he proves his whole cynical theory right. See, I told you so. That kindness from the old man, it just became another angle, another opening, and the money was a bait he just couldn't say no to. He smashes the window, grabs the cash, and confirms everything he believed. The world is a trap. And he was right. Ah, but this is where the story gets really clever, because by grabbing the bait and running, he walks right into the trap himself. He ducks off the main road, dives into the forest to hide, and all of a sudden, his little metaphor, it becomes terrifyingly real. The forest literally becomes this prison he can't escape from. The guy who sees traps everywhere, is now the one who's caught. Perfect irony. So he's lost, he's freezing, he's basically about to give up on life when he finds an old iron mill. The owner sees him and, get this, mistakes him for an old army buddy. He invites him home, but the peddler's like, no way, he's terrified he's going to be found out. But then the owner's daughter shows up. Her name is Edla Wilmanson, and she offers him something totally different. A new kind of bait, if you will. It's not money, it's not comfort, it's just the promise of a safe, peaceful Christmas.
And this is where we get to the heart of it all. It's all about how one person's choice, the choice to be kind, even to someone who absolutely does not seem to deserve it, how that has the power to spring the biggest trap there is, the one we lock ourselves in. Okay, so the next morning, it's a total transformation. The peddler is cleaned up, shaved, wearing nice clothes. But now, in the daylight, the Iron Master takes one look at him and realizes, whoops, big mistake. This is not his old army buddy. And he is furious. He's ready to call the cops. And you can just feel it, right? That final steel-jawed trap is about to slam shut on our guy for good. But then Edla, his daughter, steps in. And what she says is basically the whole point of the story. She says, wait a minute, we invited a human being here. We promised him Christmas cheer. She basically argues that in a world that's all about suspicion and traps, a promise of kindness is something you have to honor, no matter what. It's such a simple idea, but at the same time, it's completely radical. And this one act, it changes everything. For a whole day, all the peddler does is eat and sleep. That's it. The story makes a point of saying he hasn't slept that peacefully, that safely in years. And you have to ask why. It's because for the first time in who knows how long, he's being treated with dignity. They're treating him like a person, not like a rat in a trap. So Christmas morning comes, and the peddler, he's gone. But he didn't just disappear. He left a little package for Edla. And inside is a tiny rat trap, a Christmas gift. And it's such a perfect symbol, isn't it? It shows he totally gets it now. He's completely self-aware. He also leaves the stolen money and a letter. And in this letter, he just lays it all out. He explains exactly what happened to him. He says, look, I was just a rat about to be caught in the world's trap, but then you came along and you treated me like a captain. Because she treated him with honor, like he was someone important, she gave him the power to become that person. The power to clear himself, as he puts it. Basically to live up to the good person she saw in him. So he gives the money back, not because he's scared of getting caught, but because he has honor now. And when he signs that letter, Captain Von Stahl, he's fully claiming that new identity. He's becoming the person Edla believed he could be. He finally escapes the rot trap. But the real escape wasn't from the forest or from poverty. It was from the prison he had built in his own mind. And one act of kindness was the key. So you see, in the end, the real trap for the peddler wasn't just being poor or lonely. The real trap was his own bitterness, his cynicism. And he didn't get free because he got lucky or found some money. He was set free because one person chose to show him understanding instead of judgment, which really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? What kind of traps are we caught in? And, maybe more importantly, what doors could we unlock for ourselves and for other people with just one simple act of compassion?